kudos to Diamond Skin. That was a massive step up from Game 2 to Game 3.
Well, good news. We also get a Game of 4. Before we hop into that, Twitter continues to be a buzz as you guys send us some tweets talking about the games. First one here from Blink Dragon. Kalthas 3 times in a row. Yes.
Yeah, it was the first loss that Fnatic had on Kalthas, and also the first loss that they had on Tyrael and on Arthas.
Wow. Stats being ruined because of that game. HGC just keeps getting better the further the season goes. Caldor and Trickster are the best caster analysts ever. Aww.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for the love there. Appreciate it. We have one more tweet, it looks like. Neomin SC. Those insane team fights. Yeah, you're right.
He's definitely not wrong. But yeah, you are absolutely correct, by the way. This is ruining stats. We had a nice 100%, and with 6 games played on Arthas, that looks pretty good. And then a game like this happens, and all of a sudden, all those sweet 100% win ratios are all just gone, all down the drain.
You're making Caldor's Excel sheet panic and be upset.
My Excel sheet is crying right now.
It's upset.
It's like tears.
It's going to uninstall itself.
But then again, I still have Dignitas. 6 known Grey May not losing a single map, 100%. That's actually also pretty boring, by the way. If you have a team that just has 100% everywhere.
It's just everywhere. You're like, I can't find anything.
Can you please suck with at least like one hero? Can it be just like one composition where you lose? But yeah, then Snitch comes in and is like, oh, well, we don't know. We just play and then...
As always, next week, Dignitas versus Fnatic. That's going to be a good one. But Fnatic needs to focus on this match because we're getting ready for game number 4. Diamond Skin bringing the power in game 3. But can they continue that? Will there be a big stop hit from Fnatic? Will Fnatic clean up a little bit in the early game and prevent themselves from being one level behind?
The maps also start to become a lot more interesting since, I mean, could see Sky Temple, for example, picked now. But this is one of those situations where most of the extremely popular maps that we have in Europe are starting to slowly fade out.
Yeah.
So then we could see something a bit more crazy. Again, a reminder, we still have not seen Brax's Holdout being played, and that is true for all 3 regions. So might happen at some point. Don't expect it for the 4th map, but maybe in the 5th one it could happen. Also depends, of course, always who's picking the map. That's the biggest question here. Is Fnatic now going for map choice, or are they going for first pick? And to be frank, just checking this, I'm pretty sure that we're going to see a first pick from them. At least all the maps that they usually go to have already been played.
And that means Diamond Skin could be the ones that surprise us with a different battleground pick. As you mentioned, Brax's Holdout is up and available, so that would be kind of interesting to go into right away.
Still doubt that, though.
One could hope. One could hope. So we're still floating around here as our teams are picking up the battleground, trying to figure out where exactly they want to go. But as we move forward, I wasn't expecting to go into a game number 4 here. I thought for sure this was done and over with because the first couple games, Fnatic have just been completely clean, especially with their matches yesterday. Diamond Skin diving deep enough and finding the wins. I like the aggression they brought. They were willing to turn it up. And that's what we were asking for in the first couple of games. We just wanted to see what you showed us last week against Team Liquid.
Yeah, and they looked, I mean, the early game was really surprising. Very aggressive play. And it was just a bit crazy to see how it wasn't... I really liked the aggression. I think the aggression was absolutely awesome. But I was a bit surprised that Fnatic got caught so much off guard.
Yeah.
If you lose a hero in the early game because your opponent comes out swinging, that's fine. You get a kill, your opponent gets a kill, you have a slight advantage. But Fnatic lost everything. They were 0-3 after a few minutes. They lost the towers as well. So it was just... And again, this does not only come down to Fnatic underestimating them, which was definitely part of it, but it was also just the fact that Diamond Skin had this planned out really well. They had a lot of aggression at the top lane, and then they rotated everyone back down. And because of the composition they were running, they could easily chunk these towers down. So with Greymin and Lunara, they just had so much of an impact there that they had an easy time getting the structures low. All of a sudden, they have a level lead. They can translate that level, stat, and the talent lead into a lead around the Immortal. And then they just take 1 kill more, and all of a sudden, Fnatic is falling farther and farther behind and has to fight against the snowball that Diamond Skin also... Like, they exploited it the best.
Yeah.
They started to engaging heavily behind the fort when they were not even level 10. When they said, hey, any second 10 is hitting, dive them. Dive them right now. And Fnatic usually does that themselves, so they are standing there like, okay, I think it's time to back off here.
They weren't afraid of their opponents.
They lose all the structures. Exactly. They showed zero respect.
Which is what you need to do sometimes, especially if you're facing in a matchup that would be considered completely uneven. Play to the game. Don't play yourself against the opponent. So as we get ready for Towers of Doom, this will be our 4th map up. As we move in, we do have Fnatic up 2-1, but Diamond Skin making some splashes here. Get a win over Fnatic on one of their best maps, BOE. Can they do the same on Towers of Doom?
Now, on towers, we also have 100% win ratio for Fnatic. They played 2 games, won both of them. Diamond Skin themselves, they had only one time where they played Towers of Doom, and this is actually one that they lost. But let's see how this is planning out now. Traditionally, Abathar is being banned. Yes, that's still the case here.
Last time we had Towers of Doom, Greymane, Muradin, Mouth Blaze, and Li Ming was the composition for Diamond Skin, and as you mentioned, that was one that they lost. This is where they showed off their Blaze and attempted to split push and soak.
This is for Fnatic, again, a map where they love to play with Greymane. Normally it's Greymane, Anubarak, and Arthur, so those are the 3 heroes that they prioritize the most. We know that the Anubarak play is something to highlight, and a lot of teams have picked up on it and started to ban out Anubarak, not only against Fnatic, against other teams too, but more so against Fnatic because they're just really strong with that aggressive playstyle. So I would expect that this is something that Diamond Skin is looking to do more so towards the second ban. For now, we still have the usual suspects of Genji, who you have to think about. Tyrael would be an early pick again. Question is if Fnatic would also pick Tyrael as a first pick. I doubt it. I actually think that right now we could expect the Malthael maybe being... Sorry, Malfurion picked again as a first pick. But Tracer is already banned away, so that is shutting that down. So I wouldn't expect Malfurion to be taken as a first pick anymore. That changes things a little bit. If Tracer is not banned out and you go for Malfurion as your first pick, then you put your opponent in a spot where they all of a sudden have to juggle their own picks a little bit more because there is the threat of Tracer Malfurion being taken.
Malfurion is still a decent pick, though, if you want to grab him here, just because of the poke and the strength he has around the altar phases. And that's why Anubarak is also getting played a little bit more on this battleground. Yes, it's great for Fnatic, but he has one of the strongest pokes on a tank to be able to stop someone from dealing with that impale that can reach from pretty far distance. So that's why you see Anubarak be on this battleground, and also picked up pretty often, even though he's a bit weaker when it comes to health pool compared to the other tanks. Now, Fnatic, thinking about their first pickup. Do we get the Greymane? The safe one?
Greymane, Tyrael, those are the 2 heroes that I would expect the most. There's always Hanzo Genji. But considering the style that they usually try to play, again with Anubarak here, I would expect Anubarak as an attempt to take him on the second spot. So Greymane first. That's the moment where Diamond Skin starts thinking about taking Tyrael away from them. And Fnatic is... Okay, Fnatic has actually a shot of taking Tyrael and Anubarak if they want it. We have the attempt to play the global game from Diamond Skin.
Okay, so we'll have the Dahaka.
I think Tyrael is, in my opinion, a given on the Fnatic side. And then it's a question, are you comfortable enough to play Tyrael again as the offlaner on the top, which they have done on the first map, and you pick Anubarak? Or do you still want Arthas, which is, as I said before, a hero that they prioritize heavily on this battleground?
I think you go for the Tyrael Arthas. Tyrael can hold against Dahaka. He's not going to do much in that lane, though. Eventually, he will get ran over. The wave clears a bit too much.
The team fight is much better if you have the combo with Tyrael and Arthas, I feel. But if you are going up against a dedicated solo laner and the global, then all of a sudden you have to ask yourself, how much team fighting do I get done here?
Just as those out there, Leo is still an option in his Bad Benny. He has been shown off the Leo, and Leo is helpful against Dahaka.
Leo is something that I actually would not expect here. It was also so far not played by Fnatic on this map, at least in 2018.
Here we go.
Anubarak and Arthas, so they let Tyrael go instead. But they have Arthas at the top, so the 3 heroes that we were talking about coming to play. But Tyrael let go. Even though they have Greymane and can't access Uther, they still are completely happy to say, okay, we need the Cocoon more than we do the Sanctification and the Shield.
And this means Tyrael can be banned out by either Diamond Skin or Fnatic. Fnatic probably being the one that wants to ban it out, just to make sure that they don't get it with the Dahaka. So Diamond Skin thinking about their ban. Is there support that they are scared of or worried about?
Fnatic is now 6-1 with Arthas, 5-1 with Anubarak. So the aggressive style that they have at that front again. Uther has always been a good hero for Diamond Skin too. They haven't played him too often, but they've been very successful with him whenever he was chosen for them. The bans, on the other hand, what do you ban out here? You can target supports, as he said. You can also target a second damage.
I know I keep bringing up Li Ming, but Anubarak, Greymane into an engage into a Li Ming combo gives the resets and starts a fight off well. If you don't draft any save tools, luckily you already have the Divine Shield that is a target. They go with the Malfurion, which is mirrored from what we saw in game number 3.
They could also still play Hanzo. It's another hero that Fnatic could still use here. They have the overlap in the hero pool that we have with Quacknix and Mena, players that can play both of these heroes. In the past, We've even seen Jaina by Fnatic. Jaina's another one of these heroes that has seen very little play in Europe compared to the other regions. It's actually a bit surprising. We have only seen a single Jaina game in Europe that was played by Fnatic on Towers of Doom, and they won. Whereas if you look at Korea, 15 games played with Jaina, 67% win ratio on her, and North America has also 17 games played with her. So Europe is the only region that really just says, Jaina, not too sure about her.
North America's starting to taper off a little bit, but I wouldn't mind seeing more of the Jaina, especially from Mane, dude. He followed up on the combos really well here. He was actually on this battleground. I remember that moment where he was diving the bottom right sapper camp, and he was saved by Smexy, and they turned it around to a massive team fight. ETC was a choice for Fnatic. They banned it out.
Yeah, ETC is the most successful tank of Diamond Skin.
True.
So Diamond Skin, again, they haven't really won too many maps. If you look at it, with the victory on the last map, Diamond Skin has now won their 4th map. But they have had 3 of those wins with ETC. So before that, the only games that they won were with ETC. It sits at a 50% win ratio, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for them it's actually pretty impressive because their overall win ratio before heading into the series here today was 27%. So if you keep that in mind, then it just showcases that ETC has a big impact for them. And if it threatens also Fnatic's own comp, it makes sense that you take a strong hero away from your opponent and just make sure that they have even less CC.
Do we get Lunara or Tychus again from Diamond Skin? They've been favoring her lately.
They could, yeah.
Tychus good against Arthas, helpful against the Nubrak as well, and it's Cocoon.
I'm still curious to see if we see Li Ming, because you've mentioned her earlier, and Fnatic hasn't played her on the map yet, but I would really like her. Tyrael is still taken. I mean, Tyrael makes sense as a pick, considering that ETC was banned out. And Oriel, she's actually showing up a lot more in Korea now.
Long time no see. And now we have options available. Cassia, Vala, Gul'dan to a degree. Gul'dan probably not so much. You probably want an auto attacker here. Zul'jin if you're feeling frisky.
To give you an idea about Oriel, Oriel has been played once in Europe, once in North America, and 4 times in Korea. And the interesting part about it is she hasn't lost a game yet. Oriel has a 100% win ratio. Is not played a lot, but in all the games where she was played, she was always successful globally.
How does one stop double agents or double angels? That's Fnatic's trying to figure it out.
Bring a couple of demons into play.
Couple of demons in the play. Time for Diablo. Time for Murky, the scariest of demons. Diablo's terrified of Murky. 4th and 5th pick coming in. Gonna need a support.
The only reason why Diablo is terrified of Murky is because Murky is insanely creepy.
Lucio and Gul'dan picked up for Fnatic. Now, which auto attacker are we getting, Diamond Skin? Who are we pulling out?
I screwed up my draft.
I feel like Vala is actually the choice here. Cassie would get poked down by Gul'dan.
I was just about to make fun of you, and then I remembered that we have Oriel and Uther in the game.
I like how your first inclination to respond to me is, how can I make fun of Trick?
That was no. That's
bully.
That's not why I thought that.
Haldor the bully.
That's absolutely not true. It's because at this point, talking about Vala seems so insanely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which actually hurts me. It hurts me. My girl sees no love these days. You can still play with Lunara, but yeah, now I really want Diamond Skin to win this. I need my girl back. I need a good reason to tell people again, Vala is awesome.
Vala has a 100% win rate in HGC.
Yeah, no, that ship has sailed already. She's like, I can look that up for you if you want, but I think it's a very, very sad story with her.
Poor Vala, man, having the saddest stories. We're going to game number 4, and Diamond Skin has a double support composition. Ariel being able to generate the hope thanks to Vala and her working in those auto attacks and bringing out the damage against Fnatic and Gul'dan, which is going to be a fun one to watch.
You ready for Vala?
I'm ready for it.
0 play in Europe. First time that we see her in Europe right now. Lost 2 games in North America and was played 6 times in Korea, and out of those 6 games she lost 4. So that keeps her currently at a win ratio globally of 25%.
But there's a chance for her to have a 100% win rate in Europe, which is a stat you can use. That's a great thing about stats.
I like the way you're thinking.
That's a great thing about stats, man. You can kind of mold them into whatever you want there. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it always depends. The people that listen to stats always need to judge, okay, is that a stat that is actually in any way useful?
Totally.
Because there's some really dumb stats out there that just make 0 sense. It's like, yeah, that might be true, but that doesn't really tell me anything. So
80% of the stats are made up on the point. Just like then, just like there. That's right.
It's also not true.
Just throw words at you. All right, let's go into it. It's going to be game number 4. Diamond Skin taking on Fnatic. Diamond Skin hoping to tie it up with a double support composition. Fnatic wanting to close it out.
Yeah, Diamond Skin looked good on the last map. Can they do that again? Double support Vala, Darkmark on Oriel. That's an interesting one. Wolf Joe on Uther, Nanda on the Haka, Robadoba on Tyrael, and Roskmek on Vala.
On the right side in the red, Fnatic. Bad Benny playing Arthas, Breeze on a new Brett, Quatnix on Greymane, Smexy playing Lucio and Mane. Back on Goldan, no kill calls today.
Yeah, it's time to bring a bit of the pain here. We've just saw Fnatic. I mean, let's be honest, Fnatic got a bit humiliated on the last map. They got slapped around hard. So let's see if they can come out swinging and show Diamond Skin who's boss, or if Diamond Skin just woke up and got their coffee straight and is now in a position where they can say, you know what? We're going to take this serious. We're going to force you into the 5th map and let's see how you handle the pressure. At this point, Vala with Oriel at the bot lane. I don't know, it feels good. Seeing Vala again feels good. But Fnatic aggressive in the mid lane here, trying to use Quacknix on Greymane. Successfully at that, by the way, taking the tower, not even caring about Wolf Joe and Robadoba. They're like, what? And they might even get the kill.
Still gets out just barely.
Quacknix chickened out there. Did you see that? Breeze went in for the stun and Quacknix was on the way out and disengaged. I mean, come on, Quacknix, you're better than that. Where's your bloodthirst?
Shameful team captain. Not diving in behind forts and turrets to get kills.
It's probably for the better, but still.
Well, Fnatic is exploiting the idea that the other lanes right now, with it only being the one major damage assassin, with Roskmek being on Vala, they're going to different lanes and they're cleaning out quickly with the Greymane, knowing that their opponents don't have much clear in terms of minions. Remember, supports were nerfed pretty dramatically, and knowing they don't have that much damage. And as long as they don't get put under a turret, the Greymane in particular, they should be able to shred pretty quickly, and they are getting experience because of it.
Mena is doing work down here in the 1 versus 2. He nearly took down Vala earlier and makes this very difficult with the push. 1 tower has fallen so far, but Fnatic is putting way more pressure onto the top. Mena is doing some serious damage here, and 2 towers have fallen at the top. Fnatic is so far getting the better end of these pushes.
So working on the Sapper to continue that push, with Uther disappearing because he got bullied a little bit too much in that top lane. Should be a free pickup for Fnatic, as Bad Benny will head back home and heal on up. So Sappers will be the name of the game for our teams. When will Diamond Skin start to rotate over? Remember, we used to talk about this almost every other game last year in 2017, but now in 2018 with our first game of Vala. Hungering Arrow Vala build. Very good for clearing out mercs.
Feels still crazy that we didn't see any Vala played at all. Meta definitely has changed. The 5% support nerf was a pretty big hit towards double supports. Definitely worked out as intended, but they're still every now and then in the game. We've seen them on Battlefield. We are seeing them now on Towers of Doom. And Fnatic with the lead as we see the first 3 altars spawn, a camp, an approach to their own camp. But Diamond Skin is again aggressively rotating in the early stages. Bad Benny, on the other hand, already anchoring, and this is a 5 versus 4 all of a sudden. Of course, the Haka can come down here, but Diamond Skin has to be careful, and at this point just decides that they don't want to be too aggressive, and they're letting it slide.
The maneuver still allows the Sappers to head down the bottom and maybe get towards the fort, so it's a decent trade for Diamond Skin. Fnatic gets here just in time to defend, while Breeze actually gets chunked down pretty heavily. 2 head at the top here. It's going to be Greymane with the aid of Arthas, trying to keep Nande away from this tower, and he'll go ahead and start the channel, meaning that Fnatic gives up the southern altar, and they'll get the top ones.
Yeah, that should be a 2-for-1 trade in Fnatic's favor. Of course, Diamond Skin could always move to the top right now and try and pressure. The problem is that if you do that, your opponent has a very easy chance to retreat towards one of the bell towers and also, of course, to the fountains and then reset the fight and come back in. So it is very difficult to maintain that position for Diamond Skin. So they just simply let it slide. They're not even trying.
Darkmock's trying to keep himself alive here as Mana keeps poking him. The corruption being a bit too difficult. They are starting to get some damage on the support, though. That's a positive here for Diamond Skin. If they can break that open and just control it.
To give you a bit of an idea of what Mena pushes out in numbers right now, he's currently sitting at nearly 9,000 damage, and the next highest hero in terms of damage output is Tyrael with 5,000 on the other side. Vala only has 3,500 so far. So Mena definitely putting in the numbers as he's currently defending here. And of course it also helps him getting some stacks together. But Breeze is the first to die. Diamond Skin again with aggressive rotations and this time into the mid lane. And they get the kill. Now Smexy is, thankfully for Fnatic, ready to pick up the XP, but another great hit by Darkmok into the tower.
Gotta be careful there. That could have been a dead Smexy there with the double Hungering Arrow. Remember that level 7 just get picked up so you can double vault to get 2 Hungering Arrows out. Sadly, Rosmag just barely missing out on it, allow for Smexy to live. But they are pushing here. Not really too worried about Quadnix and his Greymane.
Do you have Smacks in the US?
What?
Smacks, the cereal?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I'm just realizing that they have like one of these thingies, what's it called, like these mascots on the front. And that looks a bit, that's a frog, and the frog looks really similar to the skin that Smexy is currently running on Lucio here. And it's also a very similar, doesn't matter.
Cereal's great.
Cereal is great, Smacks are awesome, and Lucio looks just like them.
Poke happening already.
He's a frog.
Big fight over the altar. I'll have to check those out when I get the chance here. Goldan doing what it can to poke pretty crazily, but Tyrael keeping the shield up for the team.
Yeah, and Breeze again stunned into the wall, but this is an opportunity for them to go for Roba, and they use it immediately. He gets the heals though, the double support coming through here, but Roba on the run might actually be falling here. Oh, Darkmok!
Quadnix gets the big cocktail on Darkmok to get the kill. At the same time, though, Tainment Strike comes out from Darkmok to bite him back there for hurting his teammate. Mana doing what he can to poke, but
the follow-up was great.
It's too much.
The follow-up was really good. The slam into the corner and then immediately capitalizing on the stun is the Haka as he moves in and licks him back in. So well done. But the initial kill from Quadnix was fantastic. But this is starting to showcase pretty well that it's really difficult to get these kills against double supports. Diamondskin with 2 kills against 1. And the one thing that I didn't even think too much up to now, it's not only a double support, it's a double support Tyrael.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse. We talked the entire time how Tyrael at this point is basically just an enabler that has massive shields the entire time. On top of that, you now have a double support. It's gonna be an interesting game, though, once that we see Gul'dan hitting his power spikes, his 10, his 16. Once that happens, let's see if they can still deal with it. Because on a damage output side, Diamondskin is going to start and suffer a bit. And right now, when we're looking at the setup that Fnatic has, this is with go for the throat, with also their cocoon. One of those moments when they are actually starting to gain a lot more damage that they can use to kill these guys. So the 10 might be the game changer.
Diamondskin needing so much damage, or even moving into Strafe here instead of Rain of Vengeance, which you typically pull off against an Anubek diving into you, or even an Arthas. So Rosmag is really expecting Darkmok to keep him alive as well as the rest of his teammates. We'll see if it's enough. I
mean, the good thing if you go for Strafe is that Oriel gets basically full energy right away and can kill you again.
Good point.
There's a cocoon. They're trying to go for it. Fear comes out. Vala is down. That's the damage gone. They go for Wolf Joe. That's the double kill, and they go for the triple.
And that's how your composition falls apart. If Vala dies, you lose everything. Fnatic takes 3 and cleans up Diamondskin. And good timing, too, for them. With Altars activating in, what, 15 seconds? They'll be good to go to 7 there. They're going to try and get another kick to stagger these deaths.
They know they should get more here, to be honest. I'm a bit interested why that could have been a body block.
Tyrael, smite, man. Makes it easier for him to move back.
Yeah, definitely true. Talking Tyrael. Roba a bit far out here. Eating some damage, was trying to interrupt and delay so that the team can maybe fight for one of the 2 altars, but Fnatic doesn't do them that favor. Smexy with a channel attempt now. And already Diamondskin behind, looking at 24 versus 32 points on the core as we see Fnatic going through with channel number 2.
And with that clean kill, Fnatic can head straight back to the lanes and not miss out on experience too, and they're on their way to 13. And with those kills too, they also hit level 12. They have a 3/4 level experience above their opponents. And Rosmag having a hard time here. That Gul'dan damage you were talking about, constantly chunking him. Dahaka!
Yeah.
God.
Now that we have the 10, I think it's really difficult for Diamondskin to keep this together. And we're seeing Fnatic moving in again, and here comes the Cocoon, going straight for Vala. Vala gets Cocoon. Horrify is ready, by the way. They can Horrify here. Mane can Horrify if they want to confirm the kill. And he might actually do just that. But here comes the Divine Shield and the Strafe.
Yeah, between the ages, between the Divine Shield. Man, I didn't want to risk the idea of missing out on this Horrify. But the Divine Shield on Strafe is great.
They're trading up again in cooldowns.
Yep.
That's so much used on the side of Diamondskin, and we will see in 30 seconds the Nubarak with Cocoon ready again. That was a jump. Sankt coming out. Camp is still taken by Fnatic. That's a lot of cooldowns that Diamondskin currently uses to get these opportunities.
Yeah, Smexy knocked back Robodoba right in the middle of him slamming his R, and so right when he came out of the booth, he wound up using certification away from the Merc camp.
Yeah. Smexy with the play. And the third team, this time it's Fnatic running in here, and they're actually invading heavily. The Haka comes in from behind, but this is a fight that Fnatic is happy to take. We can still see the kill. Rosmek barely surviving here, and Vala is down. Horrify also being used, sound barrier as well. They go for Nande and they lock him down with a quick cocoon. Roba-Doba is around, but the problem is that he is still on cooldown with the Sanctification.
And this aggression is a focal point of the competition for Fnatic. As we watch as Nande gets knocked up here, he's going to be taking some damage as well and eventually will fall. Fnatic has gotten a couple of kills and they have not let up. You do not allow a double support composition to reset on the map. They are constantly bringing aggression towards them to make sure that they are staggering deaths, but also to make sure that they can't get reset up here with the Vala, with her Uther and Ariel.
Can't stop, won't stop. Go in and take down Oriel as they claim a bell tower of their opponent. That's an easy pick for them. Even rotating in the middle as we still have 2 dead. Bell tower is taken, Smexy completes the channel and screws it up.
Angry Fnatic.
He actually channeled too early. They only got 4 shots out of this, and not 5.
Looks like he wanted to rotate as quickly as he can over here to the boss. Slight hiccup, but nothing that should harm them too much. If they lose by 1 point, we'll definitely go back to that moment.
Yeah, if they lose by 1 point, this is going to be the moment to look for. Right now, doesn't quite look like it. Fnatic is still hovering around the boss. They have the talent lead, now keep that in mind. 20 versus 32 points on the core. The Haka is still at the bottom. Burrowing just now, okay. Sanctification is ready, Divine Shield as well. Here comes the Sanct coming out. Already a sound barrier being used. Cocoon in the back, Horrify used. They go for the boss and they get it. Fnatic takes it and is now trying to disengage.
Can they get out of here? Smite chasing down, Roba-Doba leading the charge. A drag will connect, but Smexy comes over to interrupt it, and straight being used. And Fnatic, they are bruised and battered, but they survive.
Yeah, and that choke point was an invitation for Mene to get his damage in. He completed his Echo Corruption already, so yeah, that starts hurting. Mene is putting on a clinic in the damage output. He's sitting at 39,000. He's currently nearly 10,000 ahead of Vala. And that is with Strafe.
Deadly damage here. Quite even getting a big cocktail there too. 3 altar phase up, and we have a Dahaka that is currently floating on the side. The fights continue to break out as Diamondskin taps in. They will hit the Tainment Strike on top of a new Brack, and he's fine for now. He actually turns around for an engage. Aegis is not up and available for 30 seconds, so Nande will need to sneak out.
Mene is putting out the numbers right now. Divine Shield on Uther as he's running away, but again the Cocoon is hitting hard, it's hitting home. Uther is dead, they go in, they want more, and Greymane jumps in immediately. Mene is still in position, doesn't have a Horrify ready. Quacknix disengages. Roba-Doba on the way. Gehaka at the bot lane already going for the channel, but Smexy is at the top right, while Bad Benny is already taking position at the top left altar.
Dahaka able to get the bottom altar, but you're right, the top altar is being grabbed. It's going to be a good 5 points here. If Bad Benny can finish the channel, there it is. So we'll have Diamondskin drop down to 6 in health, 29 for Fnatic on their core, and they still have control of the bottom altar.
And they also are closing in on 16. Fnatic is absolutely in the driver's seat here. 29 versus 6 points on the core, nearly 2 levels ahead, about to hit 16. They're going for the bot lane, defending the bell tower that they captured earlier. They can take the camps. Quacknix is doing exactly that with Greymane. Is already moving over, and they take the first one. They can home in for the second. This is Diamondskin on the ropes.
Diamondskin on the rope. Fnatic feeling great, controlling the area of the chokes here. Roba-Doba could go for an engage, but he'd have to be really careful here to make sure that he pinches somebody off, especially with them being down a talent disadvantage here. Holy Ground is probably the main tool here. Diamondskin will have to use to get a kill.
Yeah. And Runa's Affliction is something that Mene now has as well. His damage output just starts increasing, and he has to Horrify too. Uses it. They're trying to go for the kill, but they don't get it because of Oriel. There comes the knock-up though. Divine Shield saving Vala, and Rosmek tries to go in for the kills, but he can't get them. Mene moved out of the range, and now he's going back in. Sound Barrier being popped. Mene firing from the backline as Quacknix engages up at the front. The Sanctification is already on the ground, but once again we're seeing Mene with the kill. The Haka goes down, and so does Vala. Double kill against them. Quacknix going in, going out, bobbing in and out for kills, and they do a quad kill. They get the